Hello and good morning, listeners. Welcome back to Almus Market Mornings, your daily dose of global financial updates. I'm your host, Swaraj Rajagopal, and we have got you covered on everything from currency shifts to pivotal central bank decisions and important speeches. Plus, you'll gain expert analysis on macroeconomic data that's shaping the market narrative right now. Join us for this episode and navigate the markets with confidence. It is the US election Tuesday, an event which has the world's attention as it impacts most countries. The big money on Wall Street has already started preparing by staffing trading desks throughout the night. Swing state polls have rarely been this tight so close to the vote. The main risk for markets will also arise from the fact that there's a possible outcome which may delay the declaration of election results, and this may cause a lot more uncertainty to the investors. Good morning, JK. Your quick take ahead of the US elections. I think ideally we in India will get to know the results tomorrow, right?
Yeah, if things are straightforward and there is a clear margin of victory, uh, that's how it should be. But most people are actually prepared for a long drawn process of declaration of the result. And yes, it's one of the most closely followed, perhaps the closest followed global event in recent times. And so markets, no doubt, they are quite jittery, nervous, because either way, it can go either way, and there can be a volatility. Uh, so that's how the world is preparing itself in all the segments of the market, economy, and all that. Yeah, so I think the indications are that Harris is leading, and particularly in some key states, but that can change also. Uh, so I think nothing is ruled out as of now, including a long run process. Uh, on the markets, yesterday's morning news about Kamala Harris getting bigger lead in Iowa polls, the dollar fall, or rather the markets rally, was actually fizzled out quickly as day wore on, because again, in some other predictions, Trump was ahead. And that's how this situation is going to be as we run into the polls. Um, dollar index is still hovering in the same range, uh, somewhat towards the lower side of its recent range, between 103.50 and 104.50. Significantly, dollar yen is not able to make much headway uh, because of the yields also just coming off a bit from their highs. And there is a lot of uncertainty about the political situation in Japan. In fact, the political situation elsewhere is also notable. We have the German coalition, which is coming under stress. There are analysts who say that it may collapse as well if the budget proposal, or rather the deficit proposal, which is been put forward, if it is not passed by the coalition. There is serious differences between the coalition partners. So something that we need to look forward. Japan, we still haven't seen new government formation with the coalition. Obviously, it is going to be a coalition government for the outgoing, rather the former PM Ishiba. He may continue also with a new coalition partner. In Europe, Eurogroup is meeting since yesterday to address the various structural issues of the European region, which has been hit by lack of living up to the way the market has been, or rather economies have been progressing in China and US. So they have been far less competitive in these times. Huge dependency on energy transition and all that. So Eurogroup is also taking stock of the need for greater unification, but there is a lot of opposition because of the right wing, which is opposed to further unification efforts. So we don't just look at the US political scenario. We have political scenarios also noteworthy in other regions. In dollar rupee, we had a breakout yesterday from 84.10, the closely watched level where RBI had been intervening consistently. Of course, we have been mentioning that if outflows sustain, RBI uh, may not continue to intervene at the same level and may let the rupee fall further. Yesterday's break and close above that key level confirms this, notwithstanding that there has been no immediate follow through buying either in the onshore or in the offshore market. That indicates actually market's own anxieties ahead of US elections and lack of any speculative players left in the market. Market generally believes that if Kamala Harris return or rather is uh, elected, uh, dollar will reverse its recent gains. Some even put some 2% fall for the dollar index, and that can actually pull down the USD INR also marginally. That's why I feel there is no major follow through after a break of a level which was held for such a long time. Normally, that could not be the case. And also, we should remember that there's not many speculative players left in the market, or rather, they are not active at all. Which can give some momentum after the breakout. So it is also notable that rupee hit a new low despite dollar index weakening yesterday. Chinese yuan strengthened to 7.08, and that's a clear testimony to the inherent weakness in the currency. Month of November has seen renewed outflow from FIs, nearly 500 million outflow of dollars seen from the stocks, even as the major index hit new 3-month lows yesterday. Broad-based selling was seen ahead of the key global events and subdued expectations for Q2 as well. So all eyes back into the happening in US, and don't forget that just 2 days away we have the Fed rate decision as well. 0.25 cut being well priced in, and it is not likely to be different. But how they will move forward. See, if the election results are not straightforward, even Fed will have some uncertainty to deal with because they cannot overlook the policy uncertainties or suspense about the policy. So I think in all probabilities, you will see Powell coming out with the data dependency and how things evolve on the fiscal side and all those things. So it's not about what they do for tomorrow on the rate that matters. It's about what indications we get going forward that matters a lot. And of course, on Thursday itself, we have another central Bank of England meeting, where again a cut of 0.25% is expected. But future expectations or future indications being very much dependent on how the fiscal position involves and the overall situation in the global markets involved. So all in all, a little movement right now, but a lot that the market thinks can happen depending upon how the US elections come about, and also on the Fed decisions and outlook on the economy and the monetary policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. And it will be a good and volatile day today since US election results will be closely tracked. Currently, it seems indications, at least the polls are indicating that Vice President Harris is leading in several key states. Yesterday's dollar weakness was also triggered by this poll indicating a Harris lead, but it quickly fizzled out, all because it's still quite mixed and it remains a very close race. There are political uncertainties, not just in US, but also in Japan and Germany. That's also an evolving story we'll keep tracking. Rupee broke 84.10, which was previously held quite strongly by the central bank. Yesterday's is also a reflection of the uncertainty that's facing the global markets. But one important thing to note is that there was no follow through after the break of 84.10. So it needs to be seen whether this break sustains. And one more thing which is leading to a bit of rupee weakness is the index setting 3-month low as FII outflows have resumed in November. So in October, we had quite, I think, around $10-11 billion of outflow, and that outflows have again resumed in November. That's it from us today. Thanks for listening. Keep listening to us. We'll be closely tracking the US elections and see you all on tomorrow with the latest round of financial updates. Thanks for listening.